Hello there, welcome back to Simon's Shed. It's time for something a little bit different. It's a review this time, and it's a N-gauge kit, footbridge plastic kit that I've been building, and it started off very well, and there were a few ups and downs along the way. So yeah, keep watching, and let's take a look at the kit. And here it is. It's ratio kit number 248, the modular covered station footbridge in N-gauge, obviously, and ratio seems to be a brand of Pico. And the important details: the span of the bridge between the columns is 93 millimeters, and the height is 22, which will be absolutely fine for me because I'm putting this on top of a raised platform anyway, so that's good. And the span is also okay for my layout, despite the fact that I didn't actually check it before I bought the kit. So I think we'll have a look what goodies await us inside. There we go, that's all the sprues laid out. Pre-coloured, as you can see, but obviously you can paint those if you like to adapt it to your livery. Very sensibly, it does recommend you do the painting before you take the parts off the sprues, as it would be very fiddly otherwise. Interestingly, it does also say decide how you want it configured before you start, so you can have it like that as a 93 millimeter bridge, or you can glue an extension piece on to make it 106. So I will go and measure up again and just double check which one would fit best and look most like the one that I'm trying to model. And you can also fit either of the staircases in 3 different positions. I presume that's sort of out to the side or forwards or backwards. So yeah, quite a flexible kit, and it does say it's designed to, you can buy multiple kits and join them together to extend it further. Let's looks like step 1 is to do the main walkway. So let's decide which version we're going to build and start cutting out the parts. We have begun. We have cut out the footway, the main footway across the bridge. The shorter version will be fine, so we don't have to glue the extra piece on the end of there. Next, you take 2 step sections and glue them together to make the bottom steps. And obviously, because there's two sides to the bridge, we do 2 of those. Then, which I've done on this one, you sort of put the legs into the platform that's halfway down where the stairs can turn, and try and glue them in, and then most of them fall out. So I've kind of abandoned that bit for now and gone on to the next bit, which was to stick the steps onto the platform. So that will go up to that one, so it'll be like that. That's the top section, and you have to put some more you sort of hook things over the top of there to go across there, sort of, I don't know what you'd call them, finials maybe. So I'll leave the legs for now until the next bit. But yeah, we've got to do that. Oh no, I've already done it. To the other side, we've already done that. So yeah, next is sort of sticking the sides onto the steps and sticking the bottom steps on. So let's carry on and get the bottom steps done. Bit more progress. We're on the mantelpiece because I don't want to move everything because there's a lot of glue drying, but I'm just basically sticking on the what they call in the transom, and just sticking one piece on, letting it dry, because it's just too fiddly otherwise. It just falls off, so a bit of patience required. And because I only get a little bit of time each day, I sort of leave it, do one bit, leave it, and then come back the next day. That's fine. A bit of a small disaster here with the transoms for this, in that they snapped when getting them out the sprue. They are very thin, so be very careful cutting those out if you do get one of these kits. But as you can see, these stairs have stayed together in one piece. These were slightly squiff, so I pulled the bottom step off, and I'll re-glue that when everything else has dried. And so, because I couldn't do anything else there, I jumped ahead a little bit and started gluing the sort of posts and fences for across. That's the walkway for the top. So let's let that dry and then do some more. More progress has been made, and we've finally got the whole thing joined together. The glue I'm using does take a while to set, so I do end up leaving it quite a while to dry. So taking it steady, and if I can get this, there we go, off the blue tack, I've got a complete bridge. So that one's wonky, isn't it? Need to sort that and carry on with these along here. Then it's a case of putting the sides, the rest of the sides on, and starting on the roof. And yeah, the other bits of roof and a few final details, so we're not too far off. We are still going with this one. Not quite so well as before. Looks fine, looks good from there. But when you get closer, it doesn't look so good. You can see it's quite hard to keep all these little green post bits vertical, and also there's a sort of marker here for the first post, and then you put the fence either side and then you carry on, but there's no markers for anything else. So if you leave even the tiniest gap, it throws everything out. So you can see there, that one's kind of crammed in. Most of the, so on top of each sort of fence panel thing, you've got a handrail which you have to sort of individually cut out, and they're all 3 or 4 different sizes, and they just keep snapping when you try and cut them out of the sprue. They're very, very thin and brittle, so most of those snapped. You can see it's quite wonky down there, but I will carry on and get it finished, and yeah, not look at it too closely. I think I was going to say if I had another kit, I could do it perfectly, but to be honest, I don't think I could. I just don't think there's any way of cutting out the handrails without snapping them, and also these bits at the bottom of these supports at the bottom also mostly snapped. So it's a very fragile kit and very fiddly, but yeah, we'll keep going. You can see that this roof should actually come to there. The glue's not dry on that, is it? But yeah, because I've left a tiny fraction of a millimetre between some of these posts and the fence, it's thrown everything out. But hey, it's not far off now, so I'll get it finished, and I think where it is, it'll look fine, because you won't be too close. Let's carry on. Pop the heater off. Get comically far away from it. And it's done. There we go. Doesn't it look superb? Yep. Don't need to look any closer. Everything's great. No, it's quite wonky. But as I'm sure I've said before, whereas some channels might sort of delete the bits that perhaps didn't go so well. I think it's important to show stuff that goes right and the stuff that maybe doesn't exactly go to plan. And I'm sure on a HD screen that doesn't look great. It sort of looks alright on the viewfinder on the iPhone, but hey, it's done. It's in place, and it's, yeah, this channel's more about a more realistic version of the hobby of what actually happens, and sometimes things don't always go right, as you no doubt will know if you've got your own layout. But we have a footbridge. I'm happy with that, and as you may be able to tell by the train parked up there, I've been doing a bit of track cleaning because that's the next project. Tidy up the sides of the, somehow hide the sides of the layout, get all the track cleaned off and get all the points working flawlessly. But for now, that's the end of the footbridge build, and finally got it done. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.